Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Are beautiful. I'm your hostess and your melanated queen. Sorry, y'all, I'm checking my text messages. There's always something coming through here. Today, of course, is Sunday. Just got to take a sigh sometimes. The topic, the message of this video is: do you ever get tired? Thank you for the like, by the way. Hi, Fox Galaxy. Do you ever just get tired of the same monotony, the same routine, the same, just every single day, the same thing, over and over and over again? It's like a cyclical situation that you are trying to see your way out of, get your way out of, but life just keeps on pulling you back, pulling you down. Um, and you're doing everything that you can. Hi, Eric. How's your day? Hi. Glad to see y'all here. I don't want to be somber, y'all. I try not to be a somber spirit, but y'all, I'm just being realistic, because a lot of people are not being realistic on social media. And everybody comes on and portrays like a picture perfect lifestyle. And people are not living in picture perfect lives and picture perfect times. We have so much going on around us, y'all, that is crazy. And, it's just very disheartening and it gets discouraging sometimes. What's good, CJ? It gets discouraging because it seems like no matter how hard you try, it seems like going in circles, going in circles, going in circles, it's like a cycle that you're trying to stop. And I know they said that the, what is it? Insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results. But when you try different stuff and it still doesn't work, what are you supposed to do? It's crazy. Thank you. Thank you, CJ. Y'all, I have had, and this is not about anything like right now that I went through, but I've had like lucrative opportunities that I've talked about on the channel that got snatched away from me because of people being hateful, spiteful, mean, wicked, nasty, um, just disliking me for no reason, being envious and jealous. Usually it's females, melanated women, or it can be a Caucasian. You know how that goes. Never is it really like Hispanics. Never is it really like Asians. Never is it like Middle Easterns. Never is it other ethnicities. It's always either number one, your own kind, or number two, the opposite group. And you know who I'm talking about, the oppressor. And it's not all of them. So this is not to go at any ethnicity, but this is what I see happening in our community, and it's very disheartening. This is why people are not united. This is why people are divisive and divided, because you can't form together as a coalition with anyone because they don't want to see you succeed. And I was talking to my colleague yesterday. Y'all know I did a live stream. I was walking to her condo, and she lives in a very nice location. Well, her condo is in a very nice location. She doesn't live there. She has another house not too far from me. And her house is beautiful too. It sits on almost an acre of land, y'all. That's unheard of in today's time. But just to give you some backstory, not to, put her business out, but you don't have her identity, so it's okay if I share the story. But she's very likable, very well educated, melanated female. She has a family. She's married. She's traveled the world. She has multiple degrees. I'm pretty sure she at least has bachelor's or master's degree. She's worked in the military as a, I think I told y'all about her as a military journalist, and then she also worked in logistics in the military. So she sold weaponry for the military. And she's always seemed to me had it together, right? But the people that you think have it together. Their lives can be like in chaos behind the scenes, y'all. Yes, Fox, thank you so much. So she was just telling me how she went through some health stuff and I was not aware of it. She called me some weeks ago telling me about that. Um, and with health insurance, they do what they want to do and they don't do what they don't want to do, right? So that can cause a big discrepancy in your household finances when you come up with some type of sickness or health ailment. And it can come out of nowhere. You can be the healthiest person, y'all, and things can still befall upon us. And that's the scary part about life because it's so unpredictable. And even people that are sports players and healthy and they run and they work out can have something to happen to them. So she went through that, and then her husband got laid off. And I think in the middle of it, she got laid off and she was telling me she had to take another job. There was a very much a cut in pay. Her husband had been applying for hundreds and hundreds of jobs, and he finally got a call back. So he's going to probably be going through some training right now, to get himself back on track. Well, as all of this was going on, where I'm from North America, Brian. As all of this was going on, their bills started to pile up. You're from Brazil? Shout out to Brazil. Brazil's in the building. I don't know if Brazil's going through what America's going through, Brian, because Americans are going through a lot over here. And they always like to portray this image of America being so supreme. But the way the citizens live over here is very much different than they live in like Asia and Japan. Um, the food that we eat over here isn't, we already know it's not the best. We don't really know what we're eating because they tell us it's food, but it has been just, manipulated by so many different chemicals and toxins. So that's another thing. And I've heard people, when they come back and forth to the United States, they talk about how they went to Mexico, the food tasted better. They went to Africa, the food tasted better. I remember, years ago when I lived in Germany, the food tasted good over there, but that was so long ago, I really don't have anything to really compare it to, y'all. You said you're from Espirito Santo, Brazil? I hope I said that correctly. Um, well, shout out to you, Brian. Anyway, so they're going through that health ailments, job layoffs, cut and pay. Um, she started falling behind in her bills, and the thing is, like, she is at the point where she's going to have to probably sell one of her properties. She doesn't want to have to because the condo can be used for rental income. However, let me tell you about the HOAs. They started hating on her. The neighbors, she was renting her condo out as an Airbnb. So I asked her, I said, well, how much were you making off of just doing that with the condo? She was like upwards to like anywhere from like, I don't know, it could be like 8,000 a month for the Airbnb, which is not bad, y'all. Well, anyway, the neighbors complained to the HOA. So the HOA came up with a new rule that you had to have a cap. Or no, you couldn't rent your condo out as an Airbnb anymore. So then her rental income went down to like, I think she said about 3,000 a month. And it's like people are always here in America in your business. If you have neighbors, they pretend like they don't see you. They pretend like they don't know what's going on, but they're always in your business, y'all. I just saw a butterfly, y'all. I'm seeing butterflies in my yard. It is so like I just love seeing butterflies. So that's just an awesome feeling. Fox Galaxy said you're trying to move out silently so you can focus on your path. Doesn't matter if you're visually impaired. It makes you feel bad about yourself. You're visually impaired, so you go ahead and chuckle and laugh. Okay, Fox Galaxy, I didn't know that about you, but it'll be okay. My sister actually has like a visual ailment, and it comes from my father's mother's side. So I don't know if you are familiar with that, but she has a difficult time seeing, and it started in her 20s. And I didn't know. I used to laugh because I was like, why do you need to have a lamp when we're sitting right here, and she just couldn't see clearly, y'all. So it's just like these things are genetically done, and we don't know what's going to exacerbate later in life. We didn't know that she was going to have this health, well, this eye situation. And, I really, really, really hope that there could be more cures for stuff, and, more people can get healed from a lot of these things that we don't know where they come from. Brienne, I've been on this planet for many decades, more than what you think. Um, so, she was telling me basically some personal stuff about her house. I don't want to get too much into the details, but just long story short, people, regardless if they have two household income, and she's a financial advisor, by the way, she has a Series 6 license and everything. No matter if they have all these credentials, people still fall on hard times. And I have another friend that is going through it as well. I have a few people that, you know, people are going through it out here, y'all. Let me just put it like that. And when people come on social media, they make up all of this facade and try to make it seem like they don't have any worries. Y'all, that is just a lie to the camera. So if you're going through it, just know that you're not alone, okay? People are always going through something. I think the best years of my life, if I want to be honest, is when I lived in Germany. And that was many years ago. And I'm like, I just want to get that feeling back. I have been trying to capture that moment again, and it's like I cannot recapture it because we're living here in America. We're living under oppression. We're living under tyranny. We're not really free. We were talking about this yesterday. We were born into this, right? We're born into this matrix. We're born into this system. You said you like my accent. You don't understand it. Where is it from? I do not know that I have an accent. It's probably a southern drawl that I can't get rid of, Brian, and I wish I could. Um, but I was born in North Carolina. um, I moved and I had a European accent, and then I lost it when I came back to the United States of America. Why were I was in Germany? Yeah, my daddy was in the military, and actually, honestly, we voted. I mean, we didn't vote. We wanted to come back to the United States, but after coming back, later in life and years past, I'm like, we really could have just stayed in Germany, y'all, and just taken a flight and visited. I don't feel like we were missing much. Now, the thing that I do miss, the things that I did miss was like the Americanized stuff, which is really to back then, because I was so young, it was a major thing. Like, oh, we didn't have Kmart, we didn't have Walmart, we didn't have like, they did have McDonald's, but it was very far few and in between. We had like one Burger King. And we thought that was a treat to go to Burger King, y'all. We didn't have like a bunch of fast food restaurants. KFC, like all of this stuff, Wendy's, that was kind of new to me when I got back here. I didn't really know what Wendy's was. I didn't know what all these fast food restaurants were. I'm pretty sure they have them now over there, but back then they didn't have it. And also, like, things were just different. Like, we just walking downtown was just like we were shopping, we were walking on foot. Nobody had to worry about being robbed. It was safer. Of course, we couldn't just, my mama wouldn't just let us, you know, she would let us go outside by ourselves. But she would just be like, just stay here where I can see you. It wasn't like you had to worry about a whole lot. Honestly, we were so young. She used to send us, we had this place called the Shopette, and we used to have to walk to this little Shopette place, and they had like little groceries and stuff that you could buy. She would send me and my sister to go to the store, on occasion. We come back, no problems, no worries. Here, I don't know if you would really trust your children walking to the local store or the little shop at. I don't think that would be a great idea. Now over here, when I see little children walking along the sidewalk or anywhere outside by themselves, I'm like, where's the adult? They should. Yesterday, I saw a girl walking on the sidewalk, very young, looked like she was in elementary school, and I got nervous for her. I'm like, I don't even trust that. You said, okay, I don't understand 100% of what you guys say. LOL, I'm Brazilian. Most of us don't speak English. I'm learning with you natives. Okay, Brian. Well, I no habla español. Okay, poquito español, Brian. I struggle, with my Spanish. I wish, and that's another thing. We don't have we're not bilingual in America. Most of us are not. And I wish we were. And I think that's something that should be taught in elementary school, through middle school, through high school. But what I find is that they have miseducated us on purpose so that we can be dependent on the government and everybody else. And so we can be ignorant to a lot of things. If we can't understand other people's languages, they can take our jobs because you have translators, you have bilingual people that get paid more than Americans because Americans only speak English. Oh, you speak Portuguese? Okay, I apologize. I don't know anything about Portuguese. I don't speak Portuguese at all. There was this girl I used to work with and she was hold on guys, this is my friend calling. What's good, Queen? I'm on on my live stream. What you doing? You want to say hi to the live? Hold on. Let me know when you're ready. Oh, I was just talking about being over it all, being over it, just being tired, talking about America, talking about just all the stuff that we be talking about. That's all I was saying. That's it. Yeah. Oh, she's not my mother, CJ, but thank you. Somebody said tell you hey. Hold on one second. All right, they can hear you, Queen.
Hi, everybody. Peaceful Sunday.
Okay. Um, she said peaceful Sunday. I'm pretty sure they're gonna say hi to you back. But I'm gonna give you a call when I get off here. All right. Yes, indeed. Yeah, so it just feels like here in America, you just go around and around and around in a circle. And I don't know how y'all feel, but I'm tired of it. And some of it also has to do with like the people that you engage with, the people you encounter, where you live. It can also be like the mentality of the people that's around your location or your area. So you have to venture out to get around different types of people, different environments, different crowds, if you have the time to do it. If you're very busy like I am, it's hard to like balance your time because you're so busy all the time, and that gets very annoying. Like my friend yesterday basically texted me. I didn't even know, but he basically slept most of the day away because he was so tired. And I'm like, he was just drained, and I understand and I get it. So many people are going through it, y'all. They're just tired. So yeah, I understand if y'all got stuff. Ooh, my phone fell. If y'all got stuff going on, maybe you don't want to speak about it. People got challenges out here, health ailments, all types of stuff is going on. Car issues. Let's not even talk about these repair facilities that like to rip people off. Luckily, you just have to do some research. We have Google, we have YouTube, we can kind of pinpoint certain things so the mechanic doesn't lie to you. You said, I get it, true, and I agree with you. It's really a problem with the system. Good point. Do you know any teacher from where you live or someone you recommend so I can improve my English like an actual teacher who teaches foreigners like me? A YouTube channel or even paid is fine too. Brian, I'm so glad that you asked because I am actually an English major. That's what I went to school for. And I actually teach children, and English is like my major. So, what I think I will incorporate on the channel, I've been talking about this a lot, I just haven't done it yet. I haven't taken the time to do it yet, but I will start implementing probably maybe I'll pick a day out of the week, maybe Tuesdays or Sundays or whatever day that resonates with me, and I will do how to properly speak English channel for anybody that may want to speak proper English or want to have better grammar or don't know certain vocabulary. Because believe it or not, I was telling the children the other day, a lot of adults don't know how to properly spell their words. And I teach them, even though they're so young, I want them to know when they're being introduced to words, right? Because the words are a part of your lexicon. There are more than one ways to spell certain words. And I've seen adults typing in chats and YouTube comments. They don't know the difference between KNOW and no, NO. They don't know the difference. I saw one YouTuber, she was trying to agree with the crowd of people. And she actually has a master's degree, and she was saying right, like she agrees. She spells it WRIGHT. And that's kind of embarrassing when you don't know how to speak proper grammar. You don't know how to spell properly because it makes you look and sound like you can't comprehend and you sound uneducated. And people do judge you according to how you speak, how you write, how you spell. A lot of people can't text properly. I'm like, why do you not know how to spell? And I know spell check does mess people up because I have seen it happen to myself. I try to double check emails. I don't like it when I misspell something on my YouTube title because I will go back and correct it. But I noticed here in America, people don't speak proper English. So that's the thing. Teacher who teaches foreigners like me, a YouTube channel or even paid is fine too. So that's something that I do want to start incorporating on the channel. Like sent and sent. There are two different ways that we spell that. Sent, like I sent her a letter. SENT. Sent, that scent smells good. That's SCENT. A lot of adults don't know that. They're not going to spell it properly. King Hazy was good. Glad to see you in the building. I think Baltimore, right? Baltimore is in the building. We have Brazil in the building. We have Dallas in the building. We have Chicago. Shout out to you all, guys. Um, just simple stuff like that. Right and right. RIGHT. I'm going to make a right hand turn. Right. I'm writing you a letter. WRITE. Those are some things that I want to start incorporating on the channel because there are so many adults that can't properly spell, y'all. And people get offended, like if you correct them, if they say something that's incorrect and you tell them the correct way, they get offended. And I think I get this from my grandmother because my grandmother was big on speaking correct English. My nephew is the same way. If you heard him, he was on the podcast the Friday before last. And he's going to come back, y'all, this Friday. Hopefully his brother will join him. Y'all, his brother is a piece of work. But they have agreed to come back for F Your Feelings Friday this Friday. So, my nephews might be joining me this Friday. I'm going to speak it into fruition. They will be here. But when you hear them speak, they sound to me kind of like preppy boys. They're very smart. All three of my nephews are very smart, very brilliant, highly intelligent, and they can read very well. Thank God. Um, you said you agree with me, and I'm glad to know you're a teacher. I'll follow you here. I'm thinking about maybe taking a trip to that country. I have friends who went and spoke very highly of it. Yes, Brienne. Well, I'm glad your friends had a wonderful time here in America. You said Baltimore. Good to see you too. Sure, you already know that by now. Thank you, King Hazy. I'm glad. A lot of people that come here from other, territories and countries, they say they love it here. They like it. I've heard a few people say they don't like it. They're going back to their home country, and I understand it. If I had a home country to go back to, I would leave. I would have dual citizenship, which is something that I want to work on actually, y'all. I talk about it with the lady that just called me. I talk to her about it all the time. I'm telling her, please get your passport. I want to have dual citizenship. I don't know in which country. I would love to visit Asia. I love Asian food, y'all. I think I like Asian culture because they take education so seriously. They seem very respectful. They seem to like really value their elders, which is something that I've noticed. Not just them, Middle Eastern cultures too. But I feel like I want to visit Asia. I feel like I do want to go to some part of Asia, maybe Japan. I don't know what part. I don't know. There are so many countries that I have not visited, y'all. And I would just love to like be able to experience different cultures in the world. Um, I still want to go to Hawaii. That's always been a part of my goal board, y'all. I should show y'all what I bought. I bought like this board, and I'm going to finish the board, and it's going to have all of my goals on there for what I want to accomplish. Another thing that I want to accomplish that I have not done, but I did try to work on it, was swimming. I am not an avid swimmer. I was so proud of myself when I went underwater. I was able to move through the water, y'all. Now, I probably look like a tadpole shuffling through the waters, but at least I was able to inch my way through. But I am very terrified of holding my breath underwater. Um, I do need goggles. I refuse to open my eyes in water. I'm so scared of it because I'm very squeamish about my eyes. So that's another thing. But I think that these things are very necessary to learn because these are lifelong. These can be like life-saving things that you need to know in life. Learning how to swim, y'all. Learning how to defend yourself. My nephew used to take not karate. He used to take taekwondo. And I think that a lot of people should be able to defend themselves in one way or another, right? And if you think about it, this is why they're also trying to take the GUNS out of our households. I don't know if y'all heard about that, but out in Virginia, there's this guy that's not from this country. He tried to get something passed saying that they're going to take the guns out of the homes of the American people. And I know that Americans are not going for that. I know down in Texas, they're definitely not going to go for that. So that's going to be a very hard situation to, you know, get to let that happen. And then they're talking about ICE will be able to come into your home and take your guns. Like, I'm hearing so much when I turn on like the news and I look at stuff and I read articles that is so overwhelming that I have to turn it off and I have to tune it out because if I keep listening and looking and watching all that stuff, it's just going to have anybody feeling stressed and panicked and full of anxiety. When I was talking to the lady yesterday and she was telling about all the political things that she's following, like from AI to this war to the this is something that I just found out from my nephew, y'all. So we were talking on the phone the other day, and he said that basically Donald Trump has sent off so much of our ammunition that we don't really have any ammunition to fight if we were to go under attack. And I'm like, how do you know this? He said, we talked about it in social studies the other day. Lo and behold, I was talking to my colleague yesterday, and she confirmed the same thing that my nephew said. So you basically started a freaking war in the Middle East only to have us defenseless. This is the stuff I'm talking about. Like, we're going, no matter who you vote for, no matter how much you try here in America in this life, these people are going to do whatever they want to do and they control it all. They control the resources. You know, Bill Gates bought up a bunch of the water supplies. They control a lot of the land. They control a bunch of the money. Now we know they control all of the finances. That I mean, so anytime they want to bankrupt the economy, they want to have people struggling, they're wiping out the middle class. It's only going to be the haves and the have-nots. So it's sink or swim. That's what is going on here in America, y'all. It's either you sink or swim, and then it's just like either you had to be born into the upper echelon, and if you were not born into the upper echelon, you have to know somebody that's going to look out for you, and if you don't, I mean, get a lifeboat and go out there in the ocean and try to survive the best way you can. That's really what it's like out here. You said, yeah, that'll never happen, CJ. What is it that will never happen, CJ? What is that? I'm curious to know. But yeah, so it's just like y'all just try your best and don't feel like you're a failure just because things are not going how you want it to go in life because there are so many like things coming at you from on a spiritual realm, from a political realm, from a financial realm, from a health stance, from social, just like social stuff. I mean, then we have like injustices in the system. We have, if you're melanated, we already know about the racism. Like that's just a given from the time you're born. You're just going to go through that before you even got here. That already existed. So you can't escape it, right? It's just it is what it is. You laughing, CJ? And I agree with you having guns to defend yourself. I like your point of view. Yes, Brian, we have to. You get better. LOL. I believe in you. Thank you, Brian. I believe in me too, but I'm just saying for those of us that have lived through this tyranny of a system in America, okay, we know what we're talking about and we know what we're up against. And we don't have cohesiveness like a lot of the other nationalities have, especially in our culture. Um, I don't claim a lot of, the what do I like to call them? The NPCs or the degenerates. We don't claim those people over here. So they like to box us all in a category and we get treated a certain way because we have so many degenerates in our society that want to be uneducated, act unruly, have no type of decorum. Yeah, I was in a Chinese restaurant the other day, right? And the girl was being so disrespectful to the Chinese guy. Now, I know some of those Asian people can be rude and disrespectful. I know how they are because I've experienced it myself. And sometimes it's their communication style that we don't understand. And it could be a cultural difference. I don't know. But I know around the world, a lot of people look at melanated females like we can be disrespected. They don't value us. They mistreat us because they think they can get away with it. And usually they can get away with it. You have to also present yourself in a certain way to be respectful and respect yourself. So she was asking him for some type of packets. I don't know. I think it was like hot mustard. He gave her hot sauce. And then it was just like her attitude was all messed up towards the guy, right? And he could catch on because he started shaking his head. She left out of the restaurant. She went to the car and then she must have told her mother. So her mother comes back in, right? Because she was like young. She was probably in her 20s or 30s. I would say 20s. So the mother comes in. My daughter asked you for hot mustard. You gave her hot sauce. And then he was like, well, he's something. He. And she said, it's not a he, it's a she, like that. And so it was me and this other melanated lady. And she just looked at me like, hmm. And I was like, she said, you ever ate here before? I said, no. Have you? She said, no. So I got the food. I left on out of there, y'all. And that was the end of that. But it's when people are encountering you for the first time, I don't think it's best practice to be rude and disrespectful, y'all. Even if they want to be rude and disrespectful, don't go down to their level. And sometimes you do have to put people in their place if they, like I've been in one of those Chinese stores years ago. It was in an Asian store. And I was just in the hair store looking around. I was so young back then, y'all. And I might have been fresh out of high school, if not still in high school. And the lady was following me around, and she looked at me. And I got the feeling like, okay, so you're gonna follow me around the store. I don't need to be in here. And I left because why would I support somebody that treats me like I'm a criminal? Thank you, Eric. Hit the like button, girl dad. Girl dad, how are you doing? I don't know where you are from, girl dad or Eric, but thank y'all for hitting the like button. I really appreciate that so much. I'm really supposed to be leaving out of this house and I wasn't supposed to be on here this long, but y'all make me stay longer when you show me support. So I thank you so much. But I just wanted to have a real live conversation with you all. Hopefully I can make, some more content, some more videos throughout the day. I need to get something to eat. I am thinking about having some Jamaican food today. What am I thinking about? Rice and peas with plenty of gravy. I want some collard greens and macaroni and cheese, y'all. I can't have the cocoa bread. It's not good for sitting on my stomach. The macaroni and cheese is not good for us at all. But y'all know how we do melanated people. I do want a side of macaroni and cheese, and I think that's exactly what I'm going to get for today. And just sometimes food just makes your spirit feel better. You said my long pretty fingers. Well, thank you. Thank you. I haven't done anything to my fingernails. I filed them a little bit and that's about it. But I use these fingers to play the piano back in my day. I was, and my piano teacher told me I had fingers for the piano. He said that I was able to hit chords with my fingers. But thank you. I appreciate you. My mother, I get my long fingernails from my mother. My sister has long fingernails and long nails as well. She has long fingers and fingernails. So that's where I get it from. Where do I buy my favorite macaroni and cheese from? Um, the Jamaican place has some really good macaroni and cheese. Y'all, last night there's this place called Soul Kitchen, and they sell soul food. They have like plantains, macaroni and cheese, collard greens, chicken, all the soul food that you could think of. Guess who's cooking the soul food? Asians. Guess who's buying all the food from that spot? Melanated people, y'all. It's so ironic. I'm doing well. Thanks out in the garden. Oh, that sounds so beautiful. You're in the garden with your daughter. It's nice out here in Southern Cali. Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. Thank you, girl dad. It never rains in Southern California. Y'all remember that song? It never rains in Southern California. Now it may on the East Coast, but on the other side of town, it never rains. Um, Being in a garden is just so beautiful. Soul food isn't hard to see. The internet is universal. I think you have long fingers, longer fingers than me, and I'm probably 6 inches taller than you. Really, Eric? I am, yeah, I'm short. Wait a minute. If you're taller than me, how? There's no way. No, there's no way. There's no way. My fingers look longer, but in actuality, I have little hands, if that makes sense. So I have long extremities on my body, but I'm actually very petite and short. I think we talked about this already. Am I a blood? Oh my goodness. Where my killers at? North Memphis. No, where that work at? I was listening to some Project Pat yesterday, y'all. And then my sister called me. She on the phone talking about rocks in my sock. Cause back in the day I had her listening to Project Pat, y'all. I'm not tall at all. Oh, you a Crip? Okay, well that's what's up. West Side. Y'all remember Tupac used to throw at West Side all the time. I claim 5'2". That's what I'm claiming and I'm sticking to it. So, give or take, depending on how you look at it. You're a crippled person? Oh, I'm sorry to hear. I hope you're doing well though. And we can't worry about whatever the things that we were born with, deformities and stuff that life has given people because we didn't create ourselves, we didn't make ourselves. We are just here existing how we come. But there have been people that get a lot more accomplished than people who that don't have like some of these challenges. You know what I mean? And it's very encouraging to watch. Like I saw this guy, they said he would never walk again. He was 16 years old, y'all. He went to his prom and everything. Oh man, somebody SHOTU. I'm sorry to hear that. Y'all really set tripping in here? He said 52 Crip. Lonesome Dove, what's good? Glad to see you in the building. We got Texas, Albine, Texas, I believe, in the building. Y'all, my kitty cats are outside right now. Tinkerbell and Prancer. It is 82 degrees today. I hope I didn't overdress because I got another shirt on under this one. You were born with a deformed broken collarbone that I didn't find out till last year. Really? Really, Bobby? So your collarbone is this thing right here, right? That's your collarbone. Thank you, sausage. Um, how did you find out? Did you have an x-ray taken or did something happen? That's interesting. Y'all, it's a lot of things that go on with us that we don't know about until later in life. Like I didn't know, well, I don't know if I want to disclose all my personal business on here, but like my spine is not all the way straight. And I didn't know about that. But you know how they do those spine checks in school? Well, at the age of 9, I did not have a curved spine. At the age of 10, they said I had a curved spine. I was in disbelief. I was like, you know how you don't want to accept the truth? And I have a hard time with that sometimes when it comes to like health challenges. So, anyway, they were like, oh, yes, your spine is curved. And I'm like, but I didn't have it last year. And the lady tried to explain to me, yeah, but you're growing. Our bones are growing, and I'm like 9 and 10 years old. So things can change within that time frame. And they kept telling my daddy, take her to the doctor, take her to the doctor. He never took me. We moved to another state before I got seen. I went to Walter Reed, y'all, which is the hospital that a lot of the soldiers used to go to when they came back from war and they lost limbs, but they shut that hospital down. So the spine doctor, which is an orthopedic, I believe, had to monitor me as I was growing. And basically, they said that I could get surgery to straighten it out. They put like a rod in your back, um, and there is risk of paralysis. When I was there, I met another young girl that had gone through the surgery. She was really cute too. She was there with her father as well. And the father was talking about that she couldn't lift anything heavier than a pillow after the surgery. Um, I definitely did not want the surgery because I did not want to risk being going through paralysis. But I don't know how extreme hers was. But if you look at me, you can kind of see that I'm not all the way straight. If you look at my waistline, I kind of tilt to the side, and that's why. And it's in two places, right here at my waistline, and then another at the top. So that kind of takes away some of my height from what the doctor told me. And that's what I go with all the time. I'm like, I probably would be a couple of inches taller, but it runs on my daddy's side of the family. He has it. His sister has it. One of my cousins has it. So this is genetics, y'all. We don't know about it until after it happens. You said, Round girl, you really a 52 Crip? Don't come in here trolling, King Hazy said. I was born in 81 and had an x ray on my neck for a potential damaged disc. Okay. Okay. You said you hate the VA? You don't like the VA? I never went to the VA, Bobby. But yeah, the VA, you have to be careful with them because they will experiment on people. Like, I feel like they experiment on people. Nope, you just fine. How are you? You say yum. I would have never known you had curved spine. I think I do too. Yeah. Well, the reason I found out is because they did that check back in elementary school. And then, of course, you get x rays taken and you can see clearly on the x ray. And it's really pronounced. It's a 45-degree angle at the bottom. So, y'all, that's pretty significant of a curve. And luckily for me, what they recommended is that I wear a back brace and to stop the curvature because my bones were still growing. But yeah, I didn't like wearing it. It was kind of uncomfortable. It used to hurt sometimes, like pushing in on my rib cage and stuff. And then after they said once I stopped growing, which I didn't grow much. Yeah. They said I didn't need it anymore. But it was good practice just to go back every so often to check on it. So I did go check on it. Um, Went to one doctor. He said the same thing as the other doctor. So, I mean, I've been okay. So, it is what it is, and, they test your reflexes. They want to make sure everything's working properly. But that's just something that's really out of your control. You're 5'2" in height. You're a short king. You peaked at 5'11", but a lower back and neck injury have you at 5'10". Yeah, people can shrink because of stuff like that. People can shrink because of age, because of injuries. I am taller than both of my grandmothers, y'all. I think one of my grandmothers was like four something. I was her height at in fourth grade, and then my other one, she probably is shorter. I don't know which one was shorter. Both of them were just short. I've never seen anything like it. But my grandfather was tall. He was like 6 feet. My other grandfather was not tall. So it was just inevitable that this would happen to me, y'all. But like, if you see all my cousins, I'm the oldest girl on my daddy's side. All of them are taller than me. My sister is younger than me. She's taller than me. Y'all, And then on my mother's side, I'm the, let me see, second girl. And both of my cousins are tall on that side. So they took height after my mother's father. My mother's not that short. Um, she's like 5'6", I think. But if you look at her, she doesn't look short. Like, but me, you can clearly look at me and tell that I'm a little person, like when you see me in person. No, I'm not 5'5". Never made it to 5'5". My sister is though. I think she's like 5'5". But she still looks kind of like not tall. I think a good average height for a female is like 5'6", maybe 5'7". And for me, that looks tall as a female because I'm so short. So it is what it is, y'all. A lot of the children at the school. I was looking at the kindergartners the other day, and I'm like, they're coming up here to me, and I'm like, this cannot be real. These children look like dinosaurs on steroids, y'all. And even like walking down the hallway, I saw the fifth graders. I said, are they fifth grade or seventh grade? Those things look like they should be in high school already. Got these children, I'm telling you, something is not right. Don't feel bad. 5'2", my wife called me average height now at 5'10". My son's a 5'11" and 6'3". My grandmother was 6'4" and married my 5'5" grandfather, who was her first cousin from South Carolina. Oh, true story. Bobby, but they used to do that back in the day, like especially people in the country, Bobby. So you're just okay. You're what part of South Carolina? I'm familiar with Fort Mill. I'm familiar with Lancaster, Fort Mill. What else? Columbia, of course. Indian Land. Indian Land is really nice. That's South Carolina. Um, if you ever want to visit South Carolina, check out Fort Mill and Indian Land. They're very nice parts of South Carolina. I haven't been to Columbia before. I will be planning on going to South Carolina real soon. Hopefully, when we go on spring break, I can make my way down there. Because I have something I'm trying to get done, y'all. So yeah, I'm planning on taking the trip. Myrtle Beach is out that way too, and I really enjoyed Myrtle Beach the last time we went. I would love to go again. I like to try to make it to the beach every year, really right around my birthday. I would love to go. Spring break is for me is not until the first week of April, y'all. Going into the second week of April, so the children are out of school. I'm not sure. I was born and raised in Newark. So the lady that called in, that's what she claims. She claims Newark, New Jersey. Congressman James Clyburn is my second cousin. Oh wow, Bobby. My birthday, I'm a July birthday. I was born on the first day of the month. I was going to try to move to SC, but they got to work on their cannabis laws for me. Well, look, they drive around like it's legal. Now, it is legal in Virginia, it's legal in DC, but they drive around here like it's legal. You smell it going down the road, in the Walmart, all in the stores. All they have is vape stores and CBD stores all over the place, y'all. That's what they got going on here. Y'all, I'm super, super hungry. My stomach is growling at this point. It's talking to me. So I'm gonna get off here. Um, I got some things I need to work on today, and hopefully I can join you. Hopefully I can tune in with y'all later and you can join with me later. But if you like the vibes over here, please like, share, subscribe. I'm not for everybody. I know this. Everybody's not for everybody in this world. Some people may unsubscribe. I might say things you don't like. You might not agree with me, and that's fine too. But if you like my vibe, please considering subscribing. Thank you for liking the video. You said you're related to the late Jesse Jackson. He was given up at birth by your family. Bobby, I Jesse Jackson is from South Carolina. As a matter of fact, Greenville, South Carolina. And I just did a video about him, about Jesse Jackson. Because, Bobby, I have some qualms about Jesse Jackson. I did not agree with the civil rights movement because I feel like we didn't get anything accomplished from Jesse Jackson as a people, and he worked on Operation Breadbasket for melanated people. And if Operation Breadbasket, he was put in charge of that. I don't see where we have benefited economically from the Operation Breadbasket. So, could you ask your family what happened with Jesse Jackson and why are we as melanated people in that movement not excelling and benefiting from Operation Breadbasket? You're very conservative, Bobby. Shout out to the Bloods and Crips. Red versus blue. Elephants and donkeys. Y'all. I just, I did. I had to speak my piece on that because people get things misconstrued and not to disrespect anybody, but I just didn't see where we benefited from that. And same thing with Barack Obama. He got voted into office. I don't really see what he did for us. I know he passed some laws for the LGBTQ community, but that was about it. I don't see where we benefited from that either. So, oh, yeah, I forgot to tell y'all, Kamala Harris is coming here in April. Now, I'm not going to go see her because I could care less, but she's on a book tour. And I was telling one of the teachers about it, and she was like, "Oh, will I be able to go? I think she's going to be in New York on spring break." But she said, "Oh, I'll be able to go." She's selling her tickets for like $140. Why do I want to go see? First of all, I'm not even in support of it, but why would I pay $140 to watch Kamala Harris um, promote a book tour? You said Obama who? Barry Soetoro, Lonesome Dove. You know who I'm talking about. He said, I don't get along with the family on politics because they're sellouts through the churches. Yes, they are, Bobby. And fraternities, that's a whole different topic, a whole different story that I do talk about on this channel. And that's why I think a lot of people get hypersensitive because they don't like hearing the truth. A lot of the fraternities that we celebrate as HBCUs, when people pledge, you're following Greek and Roman theology. You don't know why you're doing it. You're just doing it because everybody else did it. Secondly, when I talk about the HBCUs, these were founded by the Caucasians. These are not founded by melanated people. They were founded, some of these were founded by the Rockefellers, such as Spelman. Y'all know I told you Spelman is named after one of the Rockefellers. It's her middle name. But when you try to tell people this, they don't want to hear the truth and they feel like you're attacking them. I'm not attacking anything. I am telling the truth. If you just go back and do some research, y'all. Your family's heavy in the black boule elites. She can't even talk. How's she gonna write a book? She can't. My issue with Kamala Harris is she can't properly answer questions. When people pose questions to her, it's almost like she circumnavigates the question. What do you call it? She jimmies and shuckles and jives or whatever across the question, and she doesn't answer a question head on. And I think that's why she won the election. And then what really to me was like an insult is when she had that campaign and she brought Megan the Stallion on. Body yada 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 body yada. Like, why are you pandering to a certain demographic with body yada yada with Megan? We are talking about politics. We're talking about something that will impact the people here as citizens. We don't need to hear about my body, my choice, my right, and all this. Okay, we get it, right? But having Megan the Stallion to entertain the crowd, pandering to a group of people, and then on top of that, you brought Beyonce in to give a speech, which she got paid millions of dollars to get up there for a couple of seconds. You had a large turnout because they thought, hold on, my phone is ringing. They thought, I'm going to send it to voicemail. I don't know who this is. They thought they were going to get a real live show from Beyonce, which I don't even care, honestly, about a show from Beyonce. I'm just saying. People thought they were going to get a concert, and she got up there, got her money, and got off the stage. So, my thing is, melanated people raise that money, that campaign money, for all that nonsense. Nothing really got accomplished with that campaign. You said Kamala laughs a lot. Oh, somebody got mad at me on Instagram because I was saying that she's not really her lineage is from somewhere else. Like, she's part Indian. She tries to claim black, aka black, right? but she's not pure like what you would say a melanated indigenous person. She does have ties to like the Indian lineage. Nothing against her for that. I'm just saying be honest and be truthful. It's like people like to um assimilate to being melanated when it works in their favor, but then they try to separate themselves when it does not work in their advantage. And I don't like the swing, the back and the forth. That's what I don't like. Be what you are and stand firm in that, right? Because you don't need to be hiding who you are. And I did some research on like her mother and everything. If you look at her mother, she's not a pure melanated person. So why are you lying to the public? Then another issue that I took issue with is that they were like, oh, she did the black mama squint. When she squinted on the video, yeah, she's blackety black. Do you know how ignorant that sounds as a people because she squinted on camera that she's black? Yeah, I mean, just dumb stuff. Like people voted for Hillary Clinton because she put hot sauce in her bag. Because she said it on the Breakfast Club. What do you keep in your bag? She said, oh, I keep hot sauce. Don't you think that these people have already gone through some type of training to know what answers to pitch to what audience they're um, trying to get constituents from? Like, and to say that you put hot sauce in your bag so you're relating to black people is an insult. And it's just stupid. When Bill Clinton said he inhaled but he didn't get high, oh yeah, he's black, I'm voting for Clinton. How dumb you sound, right? And because of Bill Clinton, we have the what is it, three strikes and the No Child Left Behind. Who was in charge of that? Because don't even get me started on No Child Left Behind. This is causing a lot of these children to get pushed through to the next grade and they can't even read, can't write, and can't speak proper English. A lot of them cannot even write a paragraph in third grade. So let's not even go. Indian from India, yes, Lonesome Dove. I walked away from Prince Hall, but I will not go any further into that. Okay, I'm not really familiar with that, Bobby. You said she ain't black, King Hazy. She's Indian, and her brother is an Indian born in Jamaica, which attaches him to the nationality, not ethnicity. Okay. I would address them as Indo-Europeans. I think that would be more accurate, Bobby. So Indo-Europeans or whatever. My thing is just claim what you are. You don't have to lie about it. Just like I feel Barack Obama is lying about his nationality. I don't think he has a father from Kenya, and I spoke very candidly about this on the channel. That man looks nothing like the Kenyans whatsoever. He has nothing about his phenotype says Kenyan to me. But this is the lie they're telling to the American people. And you know that family is made up. And you know that Michelle is Michael. And you know those children, Sasha and Malia, are not their biological children. We already know this. So the thing is, all of these political candidates are a lot of times manufactured. So we don't really know who they are. And that's very dangerous because these are the people that are supposed to speak on behalf of America. Just like you have Donald Trump. I don't know how in the world this man started running for president. Because when he first did it back in 2015, when he first started running, I wasn't taking it seriously. I was like, he can't be serious. And my dad was like, no, he's serious. And ironically, he got voted into office. Now, he didn't win the popular vote in 2016. He got put in there by the electoral, what is it, electoral college or whatever you call it. But Hillary won the popular vote. So she really, I think she thought she was going to win. When she lost, she didn't even come out to address her constituents. She did not come out to address the public whatsoever. So they pick and chose who they wanted into public office. And if you look at the Simpsons, they had already predicted that Donald Trump was going to be the president because the Simpsons is definitely owned by the CIA, y'all. And it's just like this whole system that we live in, this whole matrix of a world that they give us, it's just orchestrated, y'all. And you just have to have the vision of discernment to see through a lot of these games that they play upon us. That's, but that's a whole nother topic for another day. Yeah, I'm going to get off of here. It's almost 2 o'clock. I've been on here for about an hour now. I hope you have enjoyed your time with Brown Girls Are Beautiful on the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. Please continue to walk in your divinity. You said you made a lot of money during Trump first presidency with cryptocurrency. I'm glad for you, Bobby. Yeah, crypto was a big thing going on. I don't know how well people are delving into it right now, but if you know what you're doing, good for you. And I know that I was talking to this guy one day and he told me XRP was a thing to invest into. XRP, y'all, was a big one. And this was like last year in the summertime. And I was telling my daddy about it. But yeah, XRP was another one. Um, I'm not big into crypto. Wish I knew more about it, more well studied within the crypto and the investing side. I do believe in stocks still. Crypto is still out of my sense of comfort, but I will still not say that you shouldn't do it. I feel like if you can benefit from it, definitely go for it. You said you're going to be reaching out later, Palm Tree. All right, y'all. XRP long-term hold. Thank you, Bobby, for that information. You only have about 1,700 shares. Hey, well, you got something, so congratulations to you. Y'all, make sure you listen to Warren Buffett. Listen to Warren Buffett's podcast when you get some time. All right? I'm going to sign out now, and I'll tune in with y'all later. Y'all stay blessed. All right? Thank y'all for tuning in.